Look his face.
Yeah.
He's dangerous.
He's special.
You can like.
The guy is special. Everything that could possibly be special about this guy is special. A guy like this is the type of guy that you love to watch and follow. The most special guy that I've ever come across.
Hello and welcome back to the Head and Corey Sports Show presented by Prospect Apparel. Today we're back with another fight breakdown like I did last week for Strickland versus Imavov. I nailed my main event prediction. A few fights were close. I obviously didn't get Punahele Soriano. I believe I said Damon Jackson. Danny obviously knocked him out, but at the same time then I picked Danny in other spots like on Verdict and things, so I think I was a little all over the place with my picks last week, but these picks this week I think are confident I'm going to go 5 for 5. So, the first fight came together after the mess that was UFC 282's main event. Obviously, that fight for the vacant light heavyweight title after Yuri's shoulder injury. Then Blachowicz Ankalaev ends in a draw, which, you know, some people saw going to Ankalaev, some people saw going to Blachowicz. I don't really know how to score. I think round 5 was a 10-8, but then the other rounds were a little tighter. I could see Blachowicz getting rounds 1, 2, and 3, but that's not what this video is. This video, we're talking about UFC 283. Glover Teixeira versus Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill's not a guy I expected to get a title shot, especially after the rocky performance that was Thiago Santos. But here we are. Glover Teixeira just lost his belt to Yuri in the last 30-second submission, whatever it was. I still think Glover's very good. I think he's just a really, really bad matchup for Jamal Hill. I really do. Jamal Hill is very good, lots of power, can knock anyone out, and I'm sure he can knock Glover out. But I just think Glover, you know, he's got this late career push at this late prime. And yeah, I don't think it's going to stop. I'm going to go Glover, ground and pound TKO round 1. Or I think he's going to flatten him out like Glover always does, like he did to Blachowicz. But I think he's going to have Jamal hurt when he takes him down. So that's why I'm leaning a ground and pound TKO, because I think he's going to give up on going for the submission and just beating his head into the canvas. In front of his home crowd, I think Glover gets his belt back. And that's the way it's going to go. I think Glover round 1 TKO on the ground. Now moving on to the first ever quadrilogy in UFC history, Brandon Moreno, the interim flyweight champion, taking on the Brazilian champion, Davidson Figueiredo. Obviously, Figueiredo being in his home country again, or not again, but Figueiredo being in his home country, he's been training out there as well in his own gym. He's left Cejudo, which I don't love that move for him. I think he should have stuck with Cejudo for this camp, especially after what happened in the third fight. He kind of said on the countdown that he was like, I got what I needed from Cejudo and, you know, took a lot away from it. I don't really like that move for him. I don't think it was a smart move for him. And that's why I think Brandon Moreno, who's been working with Saif Sayoud following the James Krause situation, that's a crazy situation. I'm not going to get into that. Maybe I'll post a video sometime about it, but I doubt it. It's a wild situation. I'm kind of ill-informed about it. I've been trying to reach my connections, but the Glory camp, I think they're kind of shutting themselves down, shielding themselves from the outside world. But getting back to this, Brandon Moreno working with Saif Sayoud in Dallas and with Fortis MMA, I think it's a great move for him. Saif Sayoud is a very good coach. Maybe the coach of the year last year. I tweeted out that I thought Saif Sayoud deserved the coach of the year last year. You know, reinvigorated Jeff Neal and everything. Jeff Neal fighting Shavkat Rakhmonov in March. That's going to be a really fun fight. Davidson Figueiredo, Brandon Moreno. My official prediction is Brandon Moreno by decision. I don't see a finish for either guy. If it's going to be a finish for Davidson, it's going to be a knockout. Or I think and then I think Brandon Moreno, he's just the better fighter in the way that, I mean, like, he's more balanced, more ways to win. I think Davidson's going to come in, you know, home country. I think he's going to be looking for the knockout. He's going to be going for it too much. And that's where I think Brandon Moreno has an edge, because he's going to fight smart. He's going to let Figueiredo go for these power shots, and he's going to whiff a lot of them. And I think Brandon Moreno is just a cleaner, more polished fighter. I think Brandon Moreno by decision will be closer. It would be like a 2 times 48-47 and 1 time 49-46 for Brandon Moreno. And yeah, that's going to wrap up that quadrilogy, which is MMA history. These guys have produced banger after banger after banger. We're going to get a fourth banger here. It's going to be a great fight. Going on to this next one, I'm not sure why Neil Magny has no picture. Well, he was wearing Reebok shorts in his picture, and then it was removed. I don't know why they don't have the latest pictures of him because he's fought, I believe, 3 times in the Venom gear against Max Payne Griffin, Shavkat Rakhmonov, and Daniel Rodriguez. But Neil Magny is very good. I think he's very, very underrated, and people are sleeping on him a bit because they see Gilbert Burns as this really, really good guy, and he is an awesome fighter. And coming off the Hamzat fight, I think that's going to be interesting to see if Gilbert Burns is going to want to make a statement. And he said this week in his media day, like he's tired of fighting down. Bilal Muhammad turned him down. Everyone up there turning him down, so he has to fight Hamza and he has to fight Neil Magny. Neil Magny's super good. I think it's a really tough fight for anyone. Obviously, Shavkat made it look easy, but Neil Magny winning this, he leapfrogs the division like crazy. It would be wild if he did that. And that's why I think Neil Magny just has no pressure on him. Gilbert Burns fighting his home country, bit of pressure there. Neil Magny, very tough fight for anyone. Very good grappler and unorthodox stand-up. That's why I'm going with Neil Magny by decision. I think it's gonna be close. It's gonna be like a 29-28. I don't see a finish going either way. If there is a finish, it's gonna be Gilbert Burns TKOing him. I don't see a submission for either guy. I could be eating my words. Neil Magny's got really slick submissions, but I think it goes to a decision. I think it's going to be a fun fight with grappling exchanges and a little bit of stand up. It's going to be a good fight. My prediction underdog pick Neil Magny by decision. For me, I think it's the most confident one I'm on the card. I have on the card. This is my most confident pick. I'm going with Jessica Andrade straight up. But then if I have like an official prediction, I think she's going to TKO Lauren Murphy, whether it be late round 1, early round 2. I think Lauren Murphy's good, but she's not all that. I think Jessica Andrade really has the ability to put people out, and we've seen it time and time again. I think we're going to see it again. Jessica Andrade, TKO, late round 1, early round 2. It's my prediction. And we've just seen Valentina Shevchenko put against Alexa Grasso. That's going to be a good fight. Jessica Andrade putting herself back in the title conversation. She's in the title conversation 2 weight classes. She could fight for the title here and rematch Valentina Shevchenko, but she could also rematch Zhang Weili. Obviously, neither of those fights went her way, and she got TKO'd in both of them. But you have Zhang Weili, who's probably gonna have to fight Rose again. Or Carla is there as well. Wouldn't mind seeing Jessica Andrade fight Carla Esparza, kind of another number one contender fight. I know Carla's coming off the loss to Zhang Weili, but Jessica Andrade TKO is my prediction for this one. And the main card opener, just like I did last week for viewer reasons, I've noticed my view time is a bit strange. People don't watch to the end of the videos. So I'm putting the title fights first, or the main event first, because that's the one people care about. But this one, I really like this fight. And I'm going to straight up tell you my prediction. Paul Craig, submission round 1. I think he's going to do it again. I think that triangle is just really difficult to deal with. And I don't think Johnny Walker is necessarily smart enough to fend off the submissions or see that Paul Craig's setting up. I think he's going to fall into the trap again. We've seen Johnny Walker struggle with certain people, and I think Paul Craig's going to be another guy he struggles with. I like Johnny Walker, and I like Paul Craig. Ways to win for both these guys: Johnny Walker by TKO and Paul Craig by submission. That's the way either of these guys are going to win, and I'm going with Paul Craig. The triangle is going to happen again. Triangle choke, and Paul Craig's going to want one back after the disappointing fight in London that was Volkan Oezdemir. So, Paul Craig, submission, round 1. That's my prediction. Hope you guys enjoyed the card. It's going to be a really fun card. Gregor Rodriguez on the prelims, Terrence McKinney on the early prelims, which is shocking to me, to say the least. The final fight of Shogun Hu's career. His last one wasn't the most thrilling fight, but I think it will still offer to be a decent fight. He's fighting a hungry fighter, so gonna be interesting. OSP was pulled from this card, I believe, Trying to think of what else is on the card. I think there's some new Brazilian fighters fighting on this card. But yeah, Terrence McKinney is always awesome early prelim, so definitely tune in for his fight. That's gonna be a really great fight. So looking forward to the card. I might be doing a watch along, stream companion. So keep an eye on the YouTube channel, put on the notifications, and tune in. Put messages in the chat, and we'll have a good time. So take care, everyone. Have a good one.